Hello, I'm John Shepherd, and in this video we're going to take a look at how you can sprint faster. Now, of course, there are a lot of factors that develop maximum sprint velocity, so we're only going to focus on stride frequency and include an overview of overspeed running as well. I'm going to show you some exercises, some types of running that you can do to increase your cadence, and I'll also give you a brief overview of some of the key factors that are crucial when it comes to developing maximum velocity sprinting. This is a slightly different video to some of the others that I've been putting together, in that it's slightly more detailed in terms of research-based information, so you should pause the screen from time to time to read some of the captions which relate to research that I've discovered that relate to this topic of developing maximum sprint velocity. There are a number of ways in which you can try to develop increased frequency. For example, you can do flying 20-meter runs. The objective here is to build up to hit the start of the 20-meter section at 100% speed. Then, whilst maintaining the correct sprint maximum velocity mechanics, the objective is to sprint as fast as you can. Now, I will sometimes ask the athletes to attempt to move their legs as quickly as possible to try to gain an additional frequency, and hopefully that will transfer into their max velocity running without stress and strain. If you don't try to move faster, then you won't. It's a bit like weight training. If you don't try to move a heavier weight from time to time in your training plans, then you're not going to increase your strength. So you've got to try to elevate your body's ability to move itself quicker. Additionally to flying runs, you can also use variable runs or in and outs. So for example, you could sprint 20 meters flat out, relax to about 95% for a further 20 meters, and then sprint, hit a further 20-meter section flat out again. Another option is what I call bursts. So using 60 meters again as your distance, you would accelerate, turn your legs over very, very quickly for 5 to 6 strides, switch off minimally for 5 to 6 strides, then keep repeating that on, off, increasing frequency over the 60 meter section. Depending on your age and size, you'll probably get 5 to 6 bursts in, and it's really difficult as you have to use your brain to fire the muscles to move quicker. I also have another drill run, shall we call it, that I use to try to improve leg frequency, and this is very tough on the central nervous system, a bit like the bursts as well. You won't be able to do too many efforts, and you must take a full recovery between them and make sure you're fully rested and recovered before you do this session, so you don't want to train hard the day before. Okay, so what is this session, this run? Basically, you sprint for 30 meters, then you relax for 10 meters, and then you sprint another 10 meters. So you'll have reached maximum velocity, then you drop off very, very slightly, and then you sprint again. In reality, you won't feel like you've slowed down, so it's very hard to try to move quicker again, but I believe it's the intent, the effort you put in to generate that extra speed, the extra leg speed, that's going to transfer ultimately into improving your top end speed. I will mention about overspeed options such as downhill running or being towed by a bungee. Most of the sports science, in fact all of the sports science, says that overspeed running does not actually work because it changes the dynamics of the way you run, and additionally you may even be running slower running downhill than you would be on the flat, because you're going to need to brake in order to do that. So as you strike the ground, you're going to brake very slightly in order to control yourself. You're not going to be able to fully run flat out down a hill without some element of braking. Now, there is some research that indicates that being lifted with a parachute whilst being towed, or a similar kind of elevating device, of which I've seen Malika Miambo use, the German world champion long jumper, in that when you're lifted, whilst your body is being towed forwards whilst you're sprinting, you're not going to have that braking force. So therefore, that is potentially one very high-tech way of having a successful application of overspeed. But generally speaking, the results are not positive for a direct transference into improved sprint speed from downhill running. I'll actually say more on overspeed training in another video, as there are some hidden benefits of it. I will look in subsequent videos at how to develop your stride length, how to condition speed in terms of what exercises you use in terms of plyometrics, complex training, weight training and so forth, and how they in particular affect your fast twitch muscle fibers and develop the capability of the central nervous system to develop greater speed and velocity. We'll also need to take a look at the training program and how the various elements of your conditioning, of your specific sprint speed, fit together to produce the end goal of increased speed. As usual, thanks for watching and good luck with your training and competitions should you have any. Do let me know what you think of this slightly different format of video, and do subscribe to the channel and leave any comments you may have in the section below or through my other social media. Hopefully the information provided in this video will help you and give you some ideas in terms of how to develop your maximum speed. I've had the FREELAP timing system for a number of months now, and I've been putting it to the test. If you'd like to find out more about it and potentially purchase a system, then do contact me directly. But here's some information. The system is extremely portable and accurate to 2/1000ths of a second. You no longer need to take up 3 lanes to time your athletes. Place the TX Junior Pro transmitters down on trackside, set up the app on your iPhone or phone or tablet, and you're ready to go. The FX chip BLE attaches to the waist of the athlete, and that's what sends the time to the receivers. It's simple and effective. It's been a great motivator and way to compare performances across the training year, not only between our athletes but with norms established by other jumpers. For example, we can now really see how fast we are.